Welcome to Political Talks. I'm Emma Tritton. Here are some political stories that can be found throughout the week. The tough approach to immigration by President Trump hopes to replicate as part of his sweeping plans to stop illegal immigration into the United States. He plans to do this by prosecuting more people who are caught crossing the border illegally. 600 different rallies were held for the Science March across the world. Here in Sioux Falls, hundreds gathered to stand for the protection of the earth. They urged the politicians to begin supporting the efforts that are being taken to protect our environment and its health. Event organizer Kylie Kiesner says, with this march, it's not directly trying to be political, it's just trying to show science serves a common goal. In Washington, bipartisan bargainers are progressing toward a budget deal to prevent a partial federal shutdown. This comes as President Donald Trump nears his 100th day in office. House Republicans are vetting proposed changes to their health care bill in hope that it will attract enough votes to finally get it through the House, along with approving spending legislation. Now Political Talks reporter Jill Langland talks with Dr. Staggers about how to get young adults to take interest in politics.
Well, it is very important for them to understand that government has an important impact on their lives. The most direct way is by way of taxation. And so if you own property here in Sioux Falls, for example, we do not have exactly cheap property taxes. So that's going to impact you. But then we also have other things going on here in the city. The city, of course, maintains the streets, sewers, really just everyday, well, I guess you could say everyday things that you deal with. I mean, really the city of Sioux Falls has probably more of an impact, or at least perceived impact, on people than the federal government, because when you get up in the morning, who provides you with the water? It's not the federal government, it's the city of Sioux Falls. Who provides you with the streets to drive on? That's not the federal government, it's the city of Sioux Falls. And there's just many other things like that the city provides you. And the federal government, of course, is going to get all the publicity on TV, and it's been getting a lot of publicity recently. But actually, the city of Sioux Falls really provides a lot of impacts on the citizenry of Sioux Falls. Several months ago, I got a phone call from somebody that wanted to know how to get involved. They wanted to start running for city politics. And I guess the best way to get involved is simply start going to different political events. You know, if you're a Democrat, go to Democrat events, Republican, go to Republican events, and get to know people. And that's probably the best way, is to circulate, and you know, just making friends and things like that. Just, it's not very difficult to do, really. There's all kinds of variables, but probably the biggest one is, you know, if you have circulated yourself in the community, not everybody has to know you. In fact, you know, not everybody knew who I was when I was in office, actually, even though I'd been in for a long time. Make as much contact with people as possible. And that was the one thing I always focused a lot of attention on, was going door to door, talking to people. I should probably say letting the people talk to me. That's probably the best way to go door to door. Because many times they don't really want to hear from you, but they might want to start talking to you. One of my proudest moments, I had a lot of help on this, was that I wanted to get rid of the death tax, or the inheritance tax. We had one of the worst inheritance taxes in South Dakota. You could be a child of a couple that, you know, might have died or something, and you inherit all their money. Well, you get the first $35,000 tax-free. Then after that, there was a tax on you. That just did not seem right. I mean, this is money that's already been taxed. that's being given to well, in this case, our child. And we want more money? We want more money? Oh, I didn't like that. And this is something that's going on right now with the federal government. The Trump administration apparently wants to get rid of the inheritance tax. Bravo, bravo, I hope they do. But anyway, I would introduce a bill every year in the state Senate to modify or get rid of the state inheritance tax. Like I said, we had one of the worst in the whole country. And I would do that. And, I remember, I don't know, maybe it was the third or fourth time I introduced something like this. They sent my inheritance tax bill to the State Affairs Committee. Now, they sent it to the Senate State Affairs Committee for the purpose of killing it. That's the reason it was sent there, to kill it, And anyway, I remember sitting in the committee meeting. We went through the formal procedures of having testimony in favor of this and against it. And there were quite a few people there that testified in favor of it. And of course, I was going to be one of those people. It's my bill. But I'm sitting in the audience, and next to me are a couple women from West River. And they were there because, they loved this bill. They loved it. And I told them, well, hey, it's not going to pass. Oh, no. It's going to pass. It's such a good bill. It's important for South Dakotans. It's a very good bill. I said, no, it's not going to pass. So I got up there, and after, then I got up there and testified, of course, in favor of it. Then after that, they had only one person against it. And that was somebody from the Department of Revenue. Oh, if we pass this bill, the state's going to lose, all that money. It's hard to know because each year how many people die and the inheritance tax apply it. Anyway, they were giving the number like $30 million. We can't lose this money. The vote took place. And, I'm a Republican. This was a Republican-controlled legislature. The chair of the State Affairs Committee was a Republican, and then there were also other Republicans on the committee, and then some Democrats too. And I don't know, I think it was almost a unanimous vote to kill it. I think that was the vote. Well, here we have these two women. They're shocked. How can a bill like this be killed? And so they were determined to get an initiative drive going. And so I helped them out on the initiative drive and got signatures on petitions. And I remember one time I was down at the courthouse getting signatures. Oh, this will never pass. Even if you get it on the ballot, it's not going to pass. I would hear that from lawyers especially. But then anyway, they spent a whole summer going to different fairs and events, and they ended up with 48,000 signatures to have a constitutional amendment saying, we would not, to abolish the inheritance tax. And Bill Janklow was against this. Oh, he didn't like to lose any money at all. He was always out trying to get money. And he did not like this at all. But he did not speak up. And the reason he did not speak up against this initiative, he knew it was going to pass. He knew it was going to pass. Election day comes around. What happens? It passes with 80% of the vote. And we got rid of the state inheritance tax. I think it was around 2000 or so. But we got rid of it. So I was involved in doing that. And so I guess I kind of view it as that I was kind of that spurred this on. These women, though, they did a lot of work. I've got to give them a lot of credit. They did a lot of work. But we got rid of the inheritance tax. Oh, It was so wonderful, wonderful experience. So that was, I think that's probably one of my most important accomplishments, even though it might not be reflected in, bills passed or anything like that. It was starting this initiative thing, and these women, then of course, they just out there working so hard, really hard. They deserve so much credit, so much credit.